Alright, so I'm making this video to finish off the last program, or the last video that we made, where we ended up with something like this. And all we needed was the list. So if I go ahead and look at the program requirements, I'm going to go ahead and start checking some of those off. Input and output. Do I have an input and output here? Yes, right? Yeah. Because when I press the space bar, it's going to ask me to enter a number from 1 through 10. Whatever that response is, that would be an input, right? So both pressing of the space bar and answering the question would both be inputs. If you guys remember what this did, press the space bar. Let me go ahead and close this. Press the space bar. Move this over here just so that you see the other stuff. Press the space bar, enter a number from 1 through 10. If I go ahead and put anything greater than 4, let's see, 8, it'll do something. Make the triangle. All right. Press space bar again. If I put anything less than 4, I believe, 2, I have to go ahead and change this here. So I had it from the last class. So, greater than 8. When I had it at 4, press OK. Now, if I put anything greater than 4, 7, it'll make the square. But if I put anything less than 4, let's say 3, it'll make triangle, right? Okay. So, do I already have my input and my output? What would my output be here?
Whatever, like triangle.
Yeah, the triangle or the square that it's drawing. So guess what? I'm already going to go ahead and just scratch that out. And I'm going to say I did that. Use of at least one list. No, I do not have the list yet, right? So I'm going to go ahead and look at the next one. Procedure with a parameter. Do I have a procedure with a parameter? Yeah, this is my procedure. It's the block that I made, which is all this stuff. Do I have a parameter? Yes, it's this right here, which is the input. So yes, I have a procedure with a parameter. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go ahead and scratch that out as well. Next one, algorithm in the procedure with a loop and an if statement that depends on the value of the parameter. Do I have a loop in my procedure? Yes, right here, repeat. Do I have an if statement? Yes, but does it depend on the value of the parameter? It does right here, right? If input, which is my parameter, is greater than 4, then it'll go ahead and do whatever's inside of the if statement, right? Otherwise, it'll do whatever's in the else. Okay, so guess what? I can scratch those off. Do I have a call to my procedure? Where's my call to my procedure? Literally right here. It means where am I using my procedure? Got it, Sam? Yes. The only thing that I need now is what? The list, right? So how do I make a list? Guys, this one actually took me a little bit of time to kind of try to figure out what I wanted to do, because what I originally wanted to do was say, if the input is greater than 4, choose something from a list, right? But that, in the end, kind of made it to where I wouldn't be showing the repeat. And at the end of the day, my whole purpose here is to get the entire points for the program, right? I want to make it as easy as possible for the grader to look at it and say, yes, it's all there. Okay, I don't want them to go looking for stuff. I don't want them to have to, like, take them down like a road where they're just going to have to be, wait, did they do it? Did they not do it? Right? I just want to make it super easy for them to say, yes, they did it. Right? So I'm going to keep this repeat here. And I just said, well, okay, fine. I have a sprite that's going to move 100 steps. It's going to turn 90 degrees. It's going to draw a square. What else could I make it do that I could use a list? Change color? Okay. All right. So, yeah, I actually thought about changing the color. But that's going to take a little bit more work because I actually have to go through the RGB colors. I can't necessarily go here and change my, set my pen colors and use those in a list, right? So I looked through motions. I was just kind of thinking about like what I can do. I went through looks, and I just said, hey, you know what? What about the text that the sprite can say, right? So I kind of started thinking like, why don't we do this kind of like fortune thing? Or not fortune thing, but I mean, it could be pretty much anything, right? whatever. My whole point here is to use the list. Now, whatever story you give it, or whatever theme you give your game or program or whatever it is, it's whatever it is you want to do. That's where you guys can be creative, right? I'm going to make it not very creative. I'm just going to make stuff up, all right? So, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say that it's going to say something for 2 seconds. And I'll change this to 0.5 because then later on you'll see why it takes a long time. And I'm going to say something over here as well for the 2 seconds. But what is it going to say? Oh, hey, that's actually not that bad. That's well, because I was having trouble thinking about like what to put. I'm gonna make a list. All right. In order to make this list, I'm gonna create a variable, and this variable, I'll go ahead and name it something like what to say. Press OK. This variable, I'm going to take it. Well, not the variable. I'm going to set this variable right here, what to say, and I'm going to set it to a list. Now, I could make it super easy and just say, all right, what to say, choose item from list, or choose random item from list. But then that's going to be harder for me to explain on the open-ended. Because on the open-ended portion, it asks you, why is your list essential to the program? Like, why do you need this list? Why is it, how does it make it easier, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give it a reason of why it makes it easier. So I'm going to put 3 more lists inside of this one list. So I'm going to have a list of lists. And I'm going to add 3 items to each one of those lists. So, and now I'm just going to come up with things to say. Since I have 3 different lists in there, I'm going to say that it's going to do 3 different things now. All right. I didn't want to keep it at 2 things because that was just too simple. And again, I want to be able to have stuff to explain, hey, well, I have a lot of items in these lists, and I want to be able to choose random items from different categories, right? So let's come up with this first list, 3 things that if I choose a number from 1 through 4 could be. 1 through 4 made a square, right? Or the first one made a square. So I'll put something like things that a square would say. What else? Okay, what if these doesn't know shapes? Whatever, the user can not know shapes because all they're doing is just pressing on them, right? So it's like, okay, so yeah, that's what you meant, yeah. So it'll say like, look, I'm a square. What else could it say?
Look, I'm a triangle.
Well, as far as the square goes, because I'm gonna give the square 3 different things that it can say at random. I have 4 sides. Hey, that's good. Now it's like a shape education thing. I have sides. What else? Okay, so it's kind of just describing itself, right? That's really good. I like it. The next one was a triangle. What could a triangle say? I don't know how to spell triangle. Triangle. And I still haven't spelled it. Triangle. All right. For the last one, I didn't quite make any particular shape. Yeah. Okay. So things like that. Now, I'm going to take a minute here. And yes, I'm going to make a spiral. But, I mean, I did that the other time I did it, like, backwards. So actually, you know what? Yes, let's go add those things. I'm going to change my degrees. I have, okay, look, I turn at 73 degrees. Because I'm just going to change the turns to 73. Look, I loop 40 times. What else? Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. Hey, Robin, you should be teaching this class. We will, right after this. This is the only class I like to outside. Think so?
Yes. Only classes outside, you took them outside.
You should have a party.
What?
You have parties for your other classes.
I do not have parties.
Yes, the ramen parties.
Ramen?
We should add Easter eggs in the video so that way we can I can make sure and ask the student what was the secret word I said so that way I know that they watched the video.
You just say we should have a party. That's true.
What's gonna be the secret word?
Pineapple.
Pineapple? We'll go with pineapple. So now I know if you don't know the word pineapple, you haven't seen it. Alright. Look like a snowflake. Alright. Now, there. I have a list of what the square would say. I have a list of what the triangle would say, and then I have a list of what that snowflake shaped thing that I'm gonna make would say. Right? So why did I add so many things? Again, it's so that way when I have my open-ended and I'm writing, why do you need the list? How is it that the list made your program less complicated? And it's easily able to choose different things from a list of educational information, right? Again, does it have to be words? No, it can be whatever it is you want it to be. I'm just showing you the setup, and really how I'm not basically trying to make something. Right now with Robin, I was able to kind of make it an educational shape learning program, right? I totally did not have that in mind in the beginning of the video, so that's good. Yes, now I have now the program has a real purpose. Yes, but how do I work the if statements out? Well, I have 3 shapes that I want to go ahead and create. I have the numbers 1 through 10. I'm not going to change that because that could easily just stay the same. Maybe if the input is greater than what will it make a square? If I'm choosing a number from 1 through 10, when will it make a square? If the input is greater than?
8.
Why did you choose a high number?
Because, if the other numbers are lower, you can have more, you don't mess it up,
Good, guys. If I use, let's say, the number 2, right? Well, then there's very little chances of you getting any other shape, right? Because it would go directly into the if statement. So let's go with 8, like how she said, right? So if it's greater than 8, you know what? Let's go 7, just to space it out a little bit more. So if the input is greater than 7, it'll go ahead and repeat, make the square, and it'll say, what will it say? It depends. I wanted to say something from item 1 in the list.
Oh, you have to put
Say.
Item 1.
Good. Item random of item 1. Of?
And then you put the list name.
You put the list name. Which is?
What to say.
What to say. Like that. Right? Since I already have that one made, I'm going to take this one out and just duplicate this one. The other one will say what?
Item random of item 2.
Good. Item random of item 2. All right. But then I still don't have that other thing, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put, what do you think? To have a second condition. Because now I want it if the input is greater than, let's say, 4. In the else, I would actually have to put another. What? Anybody? If statement. Right? And I'm going to go ahead and put Alright, so right here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fix this because I put this wrong. The repeat should not be on the inside. Sorry, the repeat should be on the inside, not on the outside. This right here. And this in there. Alright. And then I'm going to have another condition. This, I'm going to duplicate it. And put it right here. If I'm splitting the 10 into 3 sections, what number could I put here that won't fall into greater than 7? 4? 5?
You're splitting it into.
You can put number 4.
That's it. Like greater than 5? Like what? 5, 6, 7. You know what? I'm do 4.
Yeah, do 4.
Alright. And then I have this. Anything that's not greater than 4 is going to do something else. In this case, it's going to make our snowflake. So I'm just going to take that, put it right here in the else. I said that it was going to repeat how many times?
40 times.
It's going to loop 40 times and turn 73 degrees. 40 times. Turn.
And we need to change item
73.
Good. And then I need to change what?
item to 3.
No,
No,
That's okay. See if it works. Space. I should put something like a 2 or something.
Oh.
And it's going to tell us things about the snowflake.
I don't think it's time to.
Oh,
Well, it's
wow.
going to go 40 times, so you know what?
So we can make it a little
You
faster.
should make the.
You should make
Yeah.
it faster. And that's way too slow.
Take 0.1 seconds.
Yeah. I remember we did something like that.
Oh, but that would be really cool.
But that is
What point?
sense.
It's gonna do.
Good stuff.
No,
Yeah,
no,
point
no.
5 is too much. Point 2?
No, not that, not that. It's the thing. It's the thing for the snowflake to go faster.
Yeah.
The voice is
It's
fine.
too slow.
What do you think is what do you think is happening here from top to bottom? It's moving, turning, and then saying this, but waiting at 0.5 seconds. So that's where it stops. That's what's freaking away.
Yeah. Just put for 0. Yeah. What was I saying? Isn't that what you're saying?
0.3?
Oh,
Point
I saw
five?
3.
There's your snowflake.
Wait, you should put a star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Star.
It's the snow.
Maybe it's a little louder.
It's a star.
Alright. Whatever the case, have I fulfilled all the requirements now?
Yeah.
Do I have my input output? Yes. Do I have my what was the second thing? Use of at least one list. Yeah, I went ahead and used one list with 3 lists inside. Do I have
The parameter?
procedure with a parameter? Yes, there's my procedure right here. And I have my parameter right here. Does the if statement depend on the parameter? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Algorithm and the procedure with a loop and an if statement that depends. Okay, that was that one. And the call to the procedure. Right? And that's
Do
pretty
it
much
again.
it.
Do it again.
Put do again.
Do again. Alright, let's try
The
it.
number. Put the one for the snowflake.
Put numerals.
So anything under 4, right?
3.
There you go. Where's that?
I mean, it.
Is
No,
that-
well, you know what I was trying to say. Actually,
Good point. Is it perfect?
No.
No, you can't see the things fast. The things too fast.
but
right?
it's fine.
Are they gonna take away points for that?
Nah.
No, because you already fulfilled the requirements. Ian, wake up, please.
Hola chicos, bienvenidos al blog.
Let me go ahead and try another one. Greater than 4, but less than 8. Then greater than 7, or like an 8. That's it. It's done. Right? Fulfilled all the requirements. All that's left now is what? The open-ended. The open-ended is all I need. And I have enough material to go ahead and fill out all the questions with the amount of words that it requires. Okay? And that's it.
You need to make it scary now.
Thank you
You
for
need to make
watching.
it scary. Yes, you need to make it scary.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
ready?
put your face. We love